What's up, my alphas? It's I, the second coming of the Pope, John Paul, here to bless you with more evolution videos, this time explaining what alphas are in the human world and primate world also, so you'll learn a little bit about alphas in general. Let me get to this and why it's important in life, why it's guiding everybody's life, and how we're all affected by it. Alpha! Probably like 95% of people use that term wrongly and broadly. So they're broadly wrongly. So in general, people see it as like one alpha, and they get all the resources. The X's being women, the triangle being an alpha male. So the alpha male would get all these females, for instance. Oh, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen, but sometimes it does. Two females hook up and then they get protected by a male. You see, most people see this as happening, but it's not the fact amongst us. Now in gorillas, you do have like a silverback gorilla who becomes the alpha, and they protect their troop and tribe of females that they have power over, dominance. They show that they're able to protect the females, and so more females come along. And so they have like a sexual monopoly on those females. Only they get to have sex with those females, and those females rear that alpha male gorilla's kids. In general, humans are not like gorillas in the primate scheme of things. We're more like gibbons monkeys, because gibbons monkeys are very similar in size. The male will be like 26 pounds, the female's 24 pounds. Do you know how much more a male gorilla weighs than a female? Many times, it's 2 times more that the male gorilla weighs more than a female gorilla. Now, why is that important? Well, if you study science and primates, you'll come to understand the evolution of why this happens. The reason why this happened is called sexual dimorphism. Now in the animal kingdom, there's things that happen to the male and female of the species that change them. Either the coloration of them, the size, or different types of physical adaptations for the male or female for sexual mating to occur. And they all tell something about the species of those males and females. Now in primates, size means something very important, that there's a lot of dominance going on. So in gorillas, you have this big size difference of 2 times male and female. And in gibbons monkeys, basically there's almost no size difference, because like I said, gibbons are like 24 pounds, 26 pounds each. They're very close in size, and those monkeys are more so monogamous pair groups, whereas like the gorillas, they're a more polygamous group where there's multiple females going with one male. So that's a big difference, and that's why people use this pop culture word alpha wrongly in today's world, because they have this understanding like it's a bad thing. Alphas mean something completely different to how you guys see it. And alpha depends first off on the actual species and primates, and it differs for each species. Now in the human species, again, we're not like the gorillas where we're 2 times the size of females. Otherwise that'd be like 300 plus pound guys walking around with females that are like 130, 140. So that's a big size difference. You rarely see that, even if they're bodybuilders. They're not over 300 pounds. They might be like 280 at most, and those guys are big already. They could be like 6'4", 6'5". So you do not see a 2 times size difference between males and females in the human species. Though you do see a little bit of size difference, and if you notice, a lot of times this model is true. You have football players or superstars that are the center of women's attention, and they get like a lot of females and a lot of resources. And it's almost like they are like this alpha male gorilla getting all these resources. But the truth is, we're still closer to gibbons monkeys in general. We're more monogamous, and like gibbons monkeys, we tend to share things, and we tend to do things together, like the male and female help raise a kid together to help them survive. And that's something that's very different in human beings than gorillas and a lot of other primates and animals in general. And our whole society is built off of creating our brains to evolve into something that helps us build this culture, like things like marriage and bonding in different ways that help promote the male and female into being together for a lifetime if possible. I mean, you see that doesn't happen a lot of times, but that's what all those things are for, so they could raise a kid successfully. And so, yeah, there's actually aspects and there's variation, and that's what makes humans so diverse and unique. Like other animals, of course, they have diversity too, but our diversity comes from the fact that we could have all these different types of mating systems, but we come up closer to monogamy than anything else. And that's for the kid's sake in general. I'm not sure it's really too much for the parents' sake. But what's so important about this system and knowing what an alpha is? Well, because nowadays you have like people that are completely lost. So what an alpha was for hundreds of thousands of years as hunter-gatherers for most of our existence, over 90% of human existence, was someone who was able to help take care of their tribe. It's basically more so a more egalitarian way of living, where there's more equality. You'll notice how a lot of people nowadays are trying to justify equality for every type of unique and diverse individual there is in the world. But the truth is, we used to do that by nature. That's how it was. As a tribal member, you were an alpha male or alpha female. And as you know from previous videos, big trait is honest effort. Alphas would put forth an honest effort for hundreds of thousands of years, living in what is now Africa, basically going out there and physically doing what they had to do to get food. And that benefited us in two things: physical health and mental health. So people nowadays are all about, hey, mental health psychology, we need more sociology and social work and psychologists and studies and research, and we should take care of people. Well, duh, we used to do that as alphas by nature, and the only problem is nowadays, through our human evolution, society has evolved too fast, technology too fast, where it's made everybody into these lonely bots on their cell phones, connecting with people through social media. We're not real tribes where we have to truly work together to get things done. And actually, that's something by nature that God himself says in the Bible. Let us open the Bible, truth my Bible, thumping, be slaying slayers, to John 3:18, the first letter of John that is. And let us say the word of the Lord. Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. So you see, even in the Bible, things are not just about your words and speech, it's about your actions first. I've always said in the evolution, it all starts with a simple thing, which is walking. The physical health basically comes from the long distance walks we used to do, and the alphas would do this every single day, hunting and gathering, because as you know, if you study evolution and hunter-gatherers today, the main function of our bodies is just to walk. Low intensity walking is the foundation for our health and our bodies, for the physical health and mental health, because as you're walking along, you're going to learn things about the world, you're going to teach those things to the other hunters and gatherers, you're going to teach those to your kids, and because of that, you yourself are going to survive. So that's the third thing that comes from an honest effort, is straight up survival. And that's why an honest effort is so important in life. You have people nowadays where their efforts are not truly honest. You have people that are lost because they don't understand these things. That's why, if you noticed, physical health has been declining. Mental health has been declining. So those two things are declining, but because of technology, guess what? Survival is up. That's a problem here. If people are having mental health issues and physical health issues and they're all decreasing, yet people are surviving, of course there's going to be a lot of stress in the world. And that's really what it's from. It's a lack of an honest effort in knowing what that is. See, as I'm talking to you here, it feels good. It feels great to be able to impart knowledge from over hundreds of books I've read on evolution, the hundreds and hundreds of hours I've spent working out and finding out what really works. And from that, I could teach this. And that's what hunter-gatherer alphas used to do. They teach their knowledge at the end of the day, give it to their tribe to use so it could help people. But it all really just starts with the physical health of just low intensity walking. That's what hunter-gatherers used to do, and that's what your body's made for. It's the physical effort, and people forget that. In the modern world, we have all this technology. We could talk our way in circles like businessmen and car salesmen trying to earn $1 and make a fast buck. We could type things on social media and really cap somebody. Wow, you're capping somebody with your all caps, and you're coming back with comebacks, and it's more about just your actions and an honest effort of what you're doing every day. Now, of course, that honest effort is different in today's world than then, because now all we do is like hang out in smaller families that aren't really tribe-like, and I'd argue that basically those aren't healthy also, because you see families nowadays breaking apart because families aren't part of a bigger tribe. Oftentimes those families are just nuclear families, and if they're a big family, that's great, but smaller nuclear families are going to have problems, you know, in general, and so are bigger ones too. I mean, let's get with it, because in reality, tribes before, they estimate were about 150 people, so you're able to befriend and be honest with and help other people. And the 150 people, that's a lot of people you could trust. Nowadays, it's hard to find just 1 or 2 people you could trust, with all the family structures breaking down, people vying for respect. So this all goes back to being alphas. Respect. So this all goes back to being alphas. Respect. That's what people are searching for. Yeah, that's the online version of respect, how it's spelled. Respect. It's all about respect. People are still trying to get respect, but there's never an equal level. There's always people trying to get more and one up the other, no matter how much. So this ideal of respect is really flawed. Before, in a tribe again, there's much less animosity, much less hierarchy than you would believe there to be. Yes, there still is a hierarchy system, but it's definitely not as jaded, definitely not as harsh as today's capitalist hierarchy. So that's why people are so off with their mental health and physical health. You just got people not putting forth this honest effort every day to really get in touch with themselves and in tune with themselves of how their bodies are supposed to be used, how their mental capacities are supposed to be used. And so they go looking for it in other people, in other ways, and following these different paths. So we look to superstars that really haven't figured it out either. And they're also oftentimes just fake alphas that don't know what they're doing. So think about it. People watch TV and movies, and what are those two things about? It's about a hero's journey most of the time. It's about the transformation. It's about a hero going through struggles, a 3-act thing, having a beginning, having a call to action, then changing through conflict, and then having resolution. And what is that? That's basically what an alpha goes through every single day as a hunter-gatherer. Because in that lifestyle, you're just basically like a young kid, and then you learn how to hunt and gather, and then from there you just help the tribe. And stories are told about you, and that's the way it used to be for eons before we got TV and movies. And now we look for those alphas, big quotes, because a lot of them are just fake alphas that can't teach you anything. As hunter-gatherers, alphas could originally teach you something that could actually help you survive, you know? And now it's a lot of hit and miss with entertainment, because that's what it is. Movies and TV are entertainment. They're not really there to help you actually learn something and become a better person. So you have to look out with things that are random entertainment, things like movies, TV, video games, sports, all that stuff. That's really entertainment at the end of the day. That's pulling you away from learning about real life in the real world and the real things about yourself that you could know so you could become your best self. Because you yourself harbor the genes of alpha males and alpha females. If you're living today, you have those alpha genes. That's why I call you guys my alphas. Everyone's an alpha in this world. You just have to activate those genes more, and you'll be happier, be more in shape, and get your stuff together. The more you give an honest effort, the more you'll get alpha, and you will get respect for yourself. And yes, you'll walk into the workplace, go to school, in your families, and you'll get a lack of respect still, because that hierarchy of capitalism will still be there affecting them, and even you too, to a point also, but it'll be much less if you understand the facts of giving an honest effort so you have this physical health and mental health. I think I could hang this from my neck and be like Flavor Flav of God. It look cool, looks like it's on the Joker's head. Joker with a bell on his head. But yeah, if you look in the Bible, my Bible slaying alphas, it says in my favorite part of the book, the Proverbs, not the Proverbs. I think God meant to say Proverbs, because what really matters is the verbs in life, the action you take, and the nouns, the he, she, they, that don't really matter at all. What really matters is what you're doing every day. Are you putting honest effort in life? And what are you doing? But in Proverbs, it says, the integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. When you're basically not giving an honest effort and not truthful, you know, you're just gonna have a bad outcome. When you give an honest effort, you're gonna get rewards. When you give an honest effort, you have dedication towards something that most people don't have. Everybody has the ability to do anything, trust me. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I'm not guaranteeing money necessarily, because that's a capitalist reward, but I am guaranteeing you that you will have more physical health, mental health, and your chances of survival will increase. That's the thing about an honest effort. You give an honest effort, and you have that dedication, and you have that dedication for a while, you'll eventually learn that you can trust yourself to do things right and get things done. And you do not necessarily need other people, but people in your life will know that you are someone that they can trust to get things done and do things. And in that way, you can learn to trust yourself. And that self-love of giving an honest effort every day will give you respect and will give you that alpha status in your mind. But don't make any mistakes about it. You are an alpha right now. So even if you feel weighed down by capitalism, if you're just making money at a job that you have no inherent joy from, then hey, you just gotta work at things a little bit, work at what you're doing, and then most of all, give like the honest effort that emulates hunter-gatherers. Now, what was that lifestyle like that emulates hunter-gatherers the most in what we used to do? It's just low intensity walking, miles and miles at a good pace, above average pace, where it's not like walking like you walking through the park, because they were really walking. If you do that and learn the revolution, evolution ways of power with the foundation of cardio, then you're gonna go far. Remember, the revolution, evolution 3-step processes: setting the foundation through low intensity walking, using powerful movements of your body, and then learning strength, how to use strength and gain strength through powerful movements. And your gym workouts will be less timed. So my alphas, that's what an alpha is. It's you, and you have it inside of you. If you just learn what an honest effort is of our ancestors, the alpha males of yesterday, the hunter-gatherers of yesterday. And it's even in the Bible. So read your Bible, study your Darwin, and yes, those two don't conflict as much as people think that are non-believers of both. Yeah, check out the Revolution, Evolution online. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. And we'll keep on learning about evolution and how to be healthy physically and mentally. Revolution, Evolution, alphas out.